keep people from starving, that you wouldn't have basic social stability.
The Wall Street crash creates poverty in America, it creates poverty in Britain, but it has a massive effect on Germany, because Germany is already poor. After World War I, they were given these very punitive reparations. They had to give huge amounts of money to the other countries. And what you have is this horrific inflation in the Weimar Republic Germany, as it was known in the 1920s, in which basically at one point a whole barrel of banknotes cannot buy you a loaf of bread. You can absolutely link, as tight as that, the rise of fascism in Europe in the 1930s and extreme poverty. See how seductive it is when someone like Adolf Hitler comes up and says, I'll make Germany great again, we'll be powerful again. And really what he's saying is the reason why we're so poor in Germany is because of Britain, is because of America, is because of the rest of Europe. Downtrodden people were so open, so vulnerable to the rise of fascism and the call of racism, the call of exclusionism, and the call of invading other countries.
So, yeah. Okay. So you could blame a lot of that on, the rise of this, the rise of that, the fascism and that kind of thing and all of that. You could blame all of that on all of that all you want to. But I'm here to tell you right now that it's true, along with poverty, there is also a sense of hopelessness where a people says, you know what, I had enough. You know what I mean? I'm going to blame a sect of people. You know what I mean? I'm going to blame the Jews. I'm going to blame, all these people that got all this money. But see, here's the thing. And this is where our work comes in. This is what we need to do as regular folk. As in the middle of the bell curve. Okay? There's extremists on both sides. But we got to tell them that no, it doesn't. It's not that clear and cut. It's not that clear cut. It's not that. It's not that. It's not so black and white, right? Because the fact of the matter is if it was so black and white, we could put somebody in there and just say, okay, that's it. You do it. This is what's wrong. Fix it. It's not like that. Life isn't like that. We know the difference between right and wrong because we know that we don't hurt, an unarmed black man. We don't hurt an unarmed black woman. We don't hurt, an old white guy who's protesting peacefully, gets knocked down by the police. What we fail to realize is that picture that I just showed you, you got these masses of people getting on board because they are not allowing themselves to understand that it's not all black and white, that there are nuances, and that if I'm going to bring somebody to power, I have to make sure that they understand that there is a middle road, that there are just people who just want to get by, who don't mind just going to work, you know, nailing a hammer in and going home and chilling, having a beer. There are people like that. A lot of people like that. Or a lot of people like myself who want to wear a suit to help people who need treatment, you know what I mean? Help people who have addiction, those kind of things, because that's what I do. That's what I was trained to do. That's why I went to school for, you know what I mean? Or somebody who wants to delve into the law, which is what I did in family court, you know what I mean? And I realized that as I got older and as I looked around and I saw society, I saw that that I could do more in family court. So if I'm going to be an attorney, right, I will do more in family court versus criminal court, where it's just, you know, just somebody, like Judge Mir told me, just processing people, right? That needs to be fixed also. But I know that if I can keep the family together, I can chop half of the criminal courts almost in half, if not more, right? Because the nucleus of our society is a family. If a man, a black man, can't feed his family, he's afraid that, or he's afraid that his woman will see him in a way that he can't provide, right? What does that do to his psyche? So he's gonna go out there by any means necessary and get his, right? If my government is predicated on making America great again, okay, that means putting aristocracy back in the forefront and giving that buffer, and I can't get none of that. I can't get none of what my little bit of money pays for the cable bill, or what my little bit of money pays for my son's phone. Because if my son's friends have a phone, then he gotta have a phone. If my son's friends got a TV, then he gotta have a TV, right? So if my little bit of money goes that far, and on the TV it says that we need this, that, and the other thing to have the American dream, right? And my wife wants to get her nails did, right? Or her feet done, and the new sweatsuit or the new whatever, right? The new Chanel purse. Okay, where am I as a man? Because if there's other dudes that don't have a problem going out there making that money by any means necessary. You want to do it legally. You want to try to protect your kids. But you got all this pressure from a society that says that you need all of these things to be a man. Right? I wonder if Beyonce would be marrying, her husband if he didn't have the way she looked. Her husband ain't, he was a rapper and everything. He ain't all that good looking, to be honest with you. Right? But he made that money. Okay? Boom. And her career, for all intents and purposes, and that's the aristocracy in our black community, our black lives. If the Black Lives Matter wants to do something, let the Black Lives Matter talk about them too. If the Me Too movement want to talk about somebody, let them talk about how black men, me too, me as a black man, them too, us too. See, that's the grays. Nobody wants to, make that big. It's just, Trump and McConnell and all of the Republicans, but they don't want to go inside their own space. And see, that's where the big crowds are. And then you get somebody like Trump, when there's division in our own communities, when there's division in our own space, right? And then white people feel that we're gaining too much, even though it's only small increments. They still, for every 25 cents I make, the white man, a white man making 75, but I'm making 25. That might be a little bit too much. Or I may be making 35, right? And he making his, 75 or 65 or whatever, right? So that's what happens, and then you get a couple black guys. They say, "Oh man, that he looked just like a nigga on the street." Trump did. So, and there's brothers that voted for him. You know what I mean? Enough that they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. So those nuances around capitalism has a lot to do with it, and you got to make sure you pick it apart. Don't make it all so black and white. Everybody's got to pull their weight. Everybody has to say, you know what? If I have a tax company, I'm a black man, I need to hire black people at a decent wage. Or if I'm a vendor out on the street, I got to make sure that my prices aren't too high. You know what I'm saying? All of that factors into it. You see what I'm saying? Dictators and the aristocrat, they always want to point at, this is your problem. This is how we fix it. Go to war. You know what I mean? Go out on the street and... What? Wait a minute. No, man. Hold up. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. I got this to handle in my own neighborhood. I got that to handle in my own neighborhood first. You know what I mean? Then all of that national stuff, all of that big stuff, it'll take care of itself once my community, right? Once my community is solidified, my flanks. I'll see you next time.